Hi everyone. For today's review we're doing something a little different. We're going to do 3 books in one. Well, 3 books, 2 reviews, but all together. The reason for this is that I've been reading a couple of books about ruined buildings, and these particular books feature extensive and beautiful reconstructions of these buildings. So I'm going to do one set of reviews about these 3 books. In this video we will be looking at 2. We will be looking at the Villa Jovis and at Jack London's Wolf House. And then in the next video, which should be released a few minutes after this one, we will have a review of Sutro's Glass Palace. But first, let's look at the Villa Jovis. This is a short little book written by Gilbert Gorski, and it looks at various schemes of how this particular structure may have looked. The Villa Jovis exists now as ruins on the island of Capri, and you can walk around its remains. The villa is famous for being the residence of the Emperor Tiberius, where he spent his last years as emperor, and there are wild stories that him and Caligula would enjoy swimming in the pool there and then throw children over the cliff. Once you look at the floor plan and the reconstructions of this villa, you will see that those are completely unsubstantiated because the pool is nowhere near the edge. Gilbert Gorski takes a clinical approach to how this villa may have appeared and scales back a lot of the ornamentation, arguing that this was a villa, a getaway, and not some romanticized mansion. Reading it, it reads quite formal, still easily readable and approachable, but he has quite a formal technical style and goes through not just the floor plans, and you can see these images up here, but as well some of the variations and why these variations may have taken place. It's a methodical, detailed study, and it will appeal to those who will walk around these ruins and will go, well, how did this place look like? It will appeal to those who, like me, love ruins and love seeing them visualized as they would have been. And also for those who are interested in the lives of Romans, and in particular the Emperor Tiberius, well, at least this will help you fulfill the mental picture of how he spent his final years. The other book that we will also look at, which is also quite slim, but a little bit bigger, is Jack London's Wolf House. Jack London was an author famous for his book, which has been turned into movies many times, Call of the Wild, and he became famous for writing adventure stories and stories of people basically out in the wild. This house was never completed. It was destroyed by fire, and we'll get to that in a sec, and the ruins can now be visited. It is part of a national park. With this particular house and this particular book, it is written almost as a souvenir guide. So if you are visiting this ruin, then this book will give you the complete story of who the author was, who his wife was, who the architect was, why they built it, how they built it, what caused it to burn, and what do the ruins mean? How do you translate the ruins? What are you looking at? And this is all helped immeasurably by these beautiful reconstructions to show how the house would have appeared should it have been finished. It is the ultimate irony that this house was built to withstand earthquakes and to withstand external fires, because the author and the architect both remembered and survived the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. But unfortunately, the house did succumb to fire, which started inside. And this book also details the investigation that was able to narrow down to the specific fireplace where the fire started. Some rags with linseed oil were basically left in a fireplace. They were exposed to direct sunlight, and on one hot day, one thing led to another, and the fire started, and the house was completely destroyed. Both books follow essentially the same format, although this book is more of a guide both to the house, the ruins, and an overview of the author and the various personalities involved in the house, whereas Villa Jovis is more of a, if I don't destroy the book, whereas Villa Jovis is more of a technical treatise about how we use modern technology to represent the ruins and then to infer how they may have looked, where the ruins can't tell us how certain features may have appeared and if there is no other evidence for us to help. Both books will appeal to those who have visual imaginations or who just enjoy visual stimuli and of course have that interest in seeing ruins and then seeing how they would have appeared in their glory, or in the case of Jack London's house, how it would have appeared should it have finally been completed. You would have seen here in the corner, they are extensively and beautifully illustrated, and the various CG anime illustrations rather are evident in the shots up here. So if those books appeal to you, by all means, do check it out. And if this subject does appeal to you, well then, may I humbly recommend that you jump on to the next video where we discuss Sutro's Glass Palace.